Let us see the next question. LP Incorporation is considering a new plant in Netherlands. The plant will cost 12 million guilders. Incremental cash flows are expected to be 3 million guilders per year for the first 2 years. So for the first year and second year, it will be 3 million guilders. 4 million guilders for the next two, after which the project will terminate with no residual value. So the information is given to us. Year 0, it is cash outflow of 12 and cash flow is 3 for the first 3 years, first 2 years. 4 million for the next two, that is for the third and fourth year, it is 4 million. After which the project will terminate with no residual value. The present exchange rate is 1.90 guilders per dollar. So the spot exchange rate is 1.90 Netherlands guilder per dollar. The required rate of return, cost of capital on repatriated dollar is 25%. So very good language of the question is provided to us that on the repatriated dollar means once the cash flows are converted into domestic currency, you require the return of 25%. If the exchange rate stays at 1.90, what is the project's NPV? That is a question. Everybody is requested to go through the question, please. Dear students, over here, the first part of the question can be done either with the home currency approach or it can be done with the foreign currency approach. By using either of the approach, we can do it. Since it is an initial question, so I would like to do by both the methods. So let us do the home currency approach first of all. Heading right down. Calculation of NPV, comma, using home currency approach. Try to do answer of the question on your own, then I will do answer for you. Friends, over here, we understand it's the NPV using the home currency approach in that as far as the step number 1 is concerned, step number 1 is calculation of exchange rate. Now this step is not applicable. Why this is not applicable? The reason for that is very simple. The question is providing the information that the exchange rate is going to remain same 1.90 guilders per dollar. The question is providing the information that the present exchange rate is 1.9 and the exchange rate is going to stay same 1.9. So there is no need of making the calculation of the exchange rate which is likely to prevail over the time period of 4 years. Okay. Now we can start with the step number 2. In that, conversion of foreign currency into home currency. Okay. Let us have understanding that say this step is only to make sure that say there is no silly mistake. Netherlands guilder dollar, the spot exchange rate is 1.9 Netherlands guilder per dollar and the amount of the investment is 12 million guilders. It is equal to this amount of dollar. So in that case it comes to 12 million into 1, that does not make a sense, divided by 1.90. So we understand that so the cash flows in Netherlands guilder currency term divided by exchange rate is the answer. Divided by exchange rate is the answer. This is the step number 2. Now step number 3, calculation of NPV. In the third step, we will have the working like this. Column number 1 is year. Column number 2 is cash flows in the Netherlands guideline currency term. The third column is exchange rate. It is Netherlands guideline per dollar that is provided to us. Again, the cash flows we will mention in the dollar currency term, in a way that the Netherlands guideline currency cash flows are converted into dollar currency, discounting at the rate of 25%, and based on that, we will compute the present value. Cash flows for the purpose of NPV calculation. So as far as the year 0 is concerned, in that the amount of the investment is to be made of an amount of 12 million guide years. So year 0, it is 12 is outflow, exchange rate is 1.9, so 12 divided by 1.90, so that comes to 6.3157 or 58, 6.3158. Discounting factor is 1, so it is 6.3158. And so on we will do for the remaining years. Then end of year 1 and end of year 2. We have been provided with the information that it is an amount of 3 million guide years per year for the first 2 years. So the first and second year it is 3 million guide years. The exchange rate is same 1.90 friends. So 3 divided by 1.9, once again this is the way it will be converted into domestic currency. 3 divided by 1.9, it comes to 1.5789. Discounting factor for the first year, 1 divided by 1.25 is 0.80, and for the second year it is 0.64. So the total of that comes to 1.44. 1.5789 into 1.44. So it comes to 2.2736. For the third year and fourth year, cash flows have been provided to us as 4 million guide years for the next 2 years. So 4 million guide years for the next 2 years. The exchange rate is same 1.90. 4 divided by 1.9, 2.1053. The third year exchange rate is, so third year factor is 0.512 and fourth year factor is 0.4096. .9216. Okay, so now it is 2.1053 into 0.9216, 1.9402. Okay, so 2.2736 plus 1.9402 minus 6.3158, that comes to 2.102, and unfortunately it is negative NPV. So as NPV of the project is negative, we will deny the US company not to accept the project in Netherlands. So this is the way we can compute the NPV in the home currency term. Now if at all we do the foreign currency approach, let us understand that in case of foreign currency approach how to do answer. Step number 1, foreign currency cost of capital. Friends, over here we understand that the foreign currency cost of capital is 25%. We understand that so the exchange rate is going to remain same. So in that case, we understand logically that so the interest rate of both the currencies would be same. Inflation rate of both currencies would be same. So foreign currency adjusted cost of capital would be 25%. Step number 2, calculation of NPV in Netherlands Guidelia currency term. So what will happen? It is year 0, year 1 and year 2, year 3 and year 4. The cash flows are provided to us in Netherlands Guidelia currency term. The amount of the investment is 12. Cash inflow is 3 and cash inflow is 4. Discounting at the rate of 25%. Year 0 factor is 1. First year and second year factor summation, that is 1.44. Third year and fourth year factor summation, that is 0.9216. This is the way we find the present value. And this present value is in Netherlands Guidelia currency term. So it is 12. 3 into 1.44. So 4.32. 4 into 0.9216. 3.6864. That is the way we compute the NPV in foreign currency term. 3.6864 plus 4.32 minus 12. 3.9936. This is the negative NPV and it is in the Netherlands Guidelia currency term. Of course, using the spot exchange rate, it will be converted into dollar currency. So divided by 1.90, we get the answer of exactly 2.1019. That is the answer of like the home currency approach, which we already have calculated. On a request of a student, I am giving explanation of this 25% in detail. So understand that say in detail that say why it is 25%. We understand like this: dollar and Netherlands Guidelia. 1 plus risk-free rate of interest for dollar currency divided by 1 plus cost of capital for dollar currency is equal to 1 plus risk-free rate of interest for Netherlands Guidelia currency divided by 1 plus cost of capital for Netherlands Guidelia currency. This is the equation that we understand. Now this is provided to us as 25%. And this is what we are required to find. So I'm rearranging the equation like this: 1 plus cost of capital for Netherlands Guidelia currency is equal to 1 plus RF for Netherlands Guidelia currency divided by 1 plus RF for dollar currency into 1 plus cost of capital of dollar currency. Okay, this is the equation that we have. Now we understand one more thing like this, that forward exchange rate is equal to spot exchange rate into 1 plus rate of interest for Netherlands Guidelia currency divided by 1 plus rate of interest for dollar currency. This is what we understand. Now end of year 1 exchange rate is same as year 0. So we understand that say forward upon spot is equal to 1 plus rate of interest for Netherlands Guidelia currency divided by 1 plus rate of interest for dollar currency. Now forward and spot, both of them are same. So what happens, let's say both of them will be cancelled against one another. So forward is cancelled against the spot, and this answer is going to be 1. So over here in this equation we can replace this value with 1. So 1 into 1.25. So cost of capital for Netherlands Guidelia currency is equal to 1.25 minus 1. That is, this positive 1 is transferred on the other hand. So it is 0.25, that is 25%. This is the logic that say we can have. So this is the NPV in Netherlands Guidelia currency term. In the third step, it will be converted into dollar currency term using the spot exchange rate. Step number 3, calculation of NPV in dollar currency term. So we understand that say for this we will use spot exchange rate. It is 1.90 Netherlands Guidelia per dollar. Netherlands Guidelia dollar, 1.90 Netherlands Guidelia is equal to $1. The amount of the NPV is 3.9936. This is the negative NPV. In dollar currency term, it would be this much, 3.9936 into 1, that does not make a sense, divided by 1.90. So it is 2.1019. This is the negative NPV in dollar currency term. Please write an answer. So NPV will of course match, and in examination you just have to follow one of the two approaches, and of course not both of them. B part of the question, if the guideline appreciates to 1.84 in year 1 and 2, 1.78 in year 3 and 4, what happens to the NPV? That is a question. Try to do answer with the home currency approach for the second part of the question. So let us do answer for the B part of the question, home currency approach. So let us see NPV calculation, friends. Year 0 once again, it is 12 million guide years, exchange rate is 1.90. So it is 6.3158. So 12 divided by 1.9. Year 0 exchange, that is said discounting factor is 1. So it is 6.3158. For the first year and second year, the cash flows are cash flows are 3 and exchange rate is 1.84. So 3 divided by 1.84. So 1.6304. 1.44, 2.3478. Year 3 and year 4, cash flow is 4. The exchange rate is 1.78. Four divided by 1.78. 2.2472. .512 plus 0.4096, 0.9216. So it is 2.0710. So the NPV is 2.3478 plus 2.0710 minus 6.3158. So 1.897. Again, NPV of the project is negative, so we advise the company not to accept the project. Now friends, as far as this question is concerned, doing this question with the foreign currency approach is quite difficult. It is not like that it is impossible, but it is difficult. Why? Because every year the foreign currency adjusted cost of capital will change. That is the reason we are going to solve the question with the home currency approach, and with that we can find the answer. Right an answer? The company should not accept the project, comma, in either of the case. That is whether it is the first or it is the second situation.